Namaste. Welcome to the beginning of another live Sangha. This one is an extra special ASMR Sunday Sangha. I'm grateful to be here. I trust you are feeling as well as you can in this moment. Whatever you're going through, your feelings are absolutely a valid expression of your experiences. Today's Sangha will be particularly regular when it comes to the content, but in the quality, we'll keep an extra special intention for relaxation, validation, spiritual affirmation. We won't go into any topic that'll keep you up at night, and I hope to speak in such a relaxing voice for you. Namaste, dear Sky Guardian. Namaste, dear Leon. Thank you. You are quick to observe, dear Sky Guardian, that I'm wearing an outfit that the author of the book that we read, Moksha, Liberation, that is, dear Tara, sent me. It's some traditional Indian attire. It's very comfy. Welcome everyone who's joining now. May we start with a deep breath together. So allow me to set the intentions for the space, and thank you, Gabriella, for the heart me that you sent. Hari Om Tat Sat. May we come together as fellow students of life to uplift each other, relate in one another's experiences, and share positive sentiments. I hope to be an appropriate host for this Sangha. If there's any way in which I can be more inclusive, let me know. Hold me accountable to that. Keep me humble. I'd like to start with our invocation. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karva Vahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvisha Vahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to the light, from death. I'm doing the translation of the mantra we do at the end. The Asato Ma Sat Gamaya mantra. The translation of the mantra that I just did was, may the divine protect us both together. May the divine nourish us both together. May our studies be vigorous and effective. And may we not mutually dispute or hate any. May there be peace in us. May there be peace in our environment, and may there be peace in the forces that act on us. Thank you, dear Wolf Medic, for your heart me and donut. Jaya Sita Rama, and for your perfume as well. Thank you. Dear Ink Addict, thank you for your rose. Radhe Radhe. Hello, dear Adam. Well, that sounds interesting. But I'm happy to be a part of this community that we have here. Hello, dear Cam. I'm sorry that it's often too late for you to watch this live. What time is it for you, where you live? For me, it's just after 5 p.m. Namaskaram, dear Ragnhildur. Good evening, Inkadik. Thank you, dear Deb, for your ice cream cone and heart me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hello, Neon Jello Pack. Phi Omega. Dear Cam, you share it's already 1 in the morning and you have work early. Oh my goodness. Well, if you ever want to watch the recordings of these live streams, even though they're not exactly live, I post all of them to my Yamsox Lives YouTube channel. And on days like today, which are ASMR Sunday, I post them on my Yamsox ASMR YouTube channel. It's a bit of a trade-off because you don't get to engage live, but there is the benefit of watching as many as you want at your own time, and you can skip through different parts or pause or type something in the comments. Just an idea for you. Julia, you share. If anyone seeing this has had a bad January so far, hang in there, Queen, you've got this. Almost 10 p.m. for you, dear Wolf. Let's use kind words, dear Sky Guardian. A little after 8 for you, dear Gabriella. 8 p.m. 2 a.m. for you, dear Sandra. Good evening, dear Majesty. Infinite Blood, you ask, have I heard of the Shri Yantra, and can I tell you more about it? Well, I'm not familiar with any in particular, but I can tell you all about yantras in general. They're the visual component of mantra, or the visual equivalent of mantra. I'm sure almost everyone's heard of a mantra, a sacred sound that you meditate on, like Om, or something longer, Om Namah Shivaya. Shri is just an honorific, so a sacred yantra is what Shri Yantra would mean. I'm sure any yantra can be called a Shri Yantra. So a yantra is something you meditate on visually, usually a complex geometrical arrangement, which is considered holy as developed by ancient yogis and rishis. A common example is a mandala. A mandala can be considered a type of yantra. Many people have mandala tapestries on their wall, and they notice that their awareness naturally gravitates towards the middle. That's the power of a yantra, to absorb one's awareness. And thank you, dear Neon Jello Pack, for your quintet of finger hearts. Om Som Suryaya Namah. I'm always happy to have you here, dear Cam. Hello, dear Don Suela. I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you? I love that voice of colors. I see the truth in that, and I feel seen by you. Hello, Artie. Hello, Damia. Hello, Dr. Ginny. Nice to have you here again, dear Deb. My New Year's was good. Just another day for me. Hello, Eli. So I'd love to read the next section of The Journey Home with You. This is an autobiographical novel by Richard Slavin, who later became known as Radhanath Swami. He was born in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, or grew up there at least, to Jewish American parents, and ended up going on a spiritual quest. Right now, I think at the age of 19, at this part in the story, he is in Turkey on his way to India. Welcome, dear Jack. Enchantress Theodora, you share you're out of the hospital today. Oh, is that good news? Means you are healing, perhaps? Dear Cam, you ask, what's the best exercise to deal with social anxiety? Laugh at yourself. Just be a goofball. It's okay if you're awkward or weird or you say something that doesn't make sense. We're human. Don't take yourself seriously. Then you won't worry about other people doing so. Oh, good. I'm happy to hear it's good news, dear Enchantress Theodora. Heath, you ask, how do you find the light within the darkness? You see what naturally radiates from you. Look at the smile that you paint on other people's faces. See the growth in your loved ones, or your plants, your potted plants. Notice how they grow day by day, just on the love that radiates from your heart. Continue to be kind and helpful, and you will see your own light reflected back at you. And thank you, dear Sky Guardian. Hello, Little Wing Nico. Hello, Dean. Now, let's continue where we left off. I've been well, Nico. Today we start the 6th chapter of The Journey Home. May this reading relax your mind and awaken your heart. It does have some intense themes at times, but it's a spiritual book. It's real, it's transparent, it's authentic, and it's leading to a wonderful realization. Let's dive right into it. When we asked the border guard the way to Istanbul, he pointed to a lonely country road. It stretched out into the darkness of the hilly, fertile country of eastern Thrace. You can tell me if I can pronounce it in a better way. As we walked, I saw for the first time the minaret of a stone mosque. The mosque's dome and spires fascinated me, and I was thrilled to see a place of God. There was no traffic on the road, and Istanbul was still 150 miles away. What now? As we stood wondering how we would ever reach our destination, an old flatbed truck rattled down the road and pulled up next to us. Strangely, it was covered with wooden benches upon which sat a dozen or so cheerless policemen. We clambered aboard. All wore shabby uniforms. All were silent, except for one who wore no uniform. He whispered in my ear, "I want to buy hashish from you. Sell to me. I am not a policeman." "I don't have any," I answered. He demanded again and again. Later, he jumped down from the truck, put on a police hat, and strutted away. In the middle of the night, we arrived in Istanbul. When the leader of the police asked us where we would stay, Ramsey told him that we were looking for an inexpensive place. The leader peered at us over his spectacles and then walked off to speak privately with a junior officer. When he returned, he told us to follow his assistant policeman. The assistant's uniform was faded and torn. His expression was stoic, and he didn't speak a single word or ever look in our direction. We followed behind him through the deserted streets of Istanbul, the poverty increasing with every block. It became obvious to us that he was taking us into the heart of the ghetto, one of the very places where the cholera epidemic was raging. The scene was demoralizing. Poverty and disease surrounded us on all sides. Jeff trembled. We've made a big mistake. That no man's land was safer than this place. Even Ramsey sighed aloud. Mates, in my years of travel, I've never seen a place as depressing as this. I tried to pray, but my mind only reeled in confusion. Where was this man taking us? The unnerving darkness was pierced by the shrieks and moans of people in agony. The contagion was taking a severe toll in this filthy slum. I was afraid to breathe. Cholera ravages swiftly, bringing about severe intestinal misery and death. We were lost and alone, and, led by the strange man, we couldn't turn back. An ominous medieval building made of stone loomed before us. An eerie sensation seized me. All my intuition told me to run, but our guide, smiling, led us inside. We entered a dimly lit room that served as a billiard hall. Inside, a dozen men puffed on cigarettes and shot pool. They looked like the sleaziest gangsters of the underworld. As they sized us with icy stares, I couldn't help but think that these thugs were the kind who would think nothing of killing someone over a gambling debt. The leader, short but formidable, leaned against a wall. His muscles bulged from a skin-tight black t-shirt as he scraped dirt from under his fingernails with a switchblade. When he saw our guide, he slipped the knife into his pocket, slid his hand across his oily black hair, and came over to speak with him. The two seemed to strike up some kind of an agreement and motioned for us to follow to the back of the pool hall and up a dark, steep stairway made of uneven slabs of solid stone. To one side was a railing, I skipped a sentence. To one side was a stone wall, and on the other side a steep drop into a deep cellar with no railing. It was pitch black. We lost our breath climbing. Once at the top, we passed through an unlit hallway that led to the room where we were to stay. There was no question of a hospitable welcome. Rather, our hosts, quote-unquote, insisted that we pay them cash up front. Their aggression was so startling that it began to dawn on us that we had seriously blundered. Had we just walked into a trap? We'd wanted cheap accommodations, not end of the line. Ramsey spoke up, telling them that we didn't have any Turkish lira and asking them to tell the exchange rate for dollars. Then we can discuss paying you, but for only one night. They shocked us by offering only half the official bank rate. Ramsey objected and politely tried to bargain for a higher rate. But the head shark would have none of it, as we were now in his turf. With a scowl deforming his face, he flung his smoking cigarette at the wall. He sliced the air between us with his switchblade and exploded into a tirade. Small though he was, the power of his cruelty terrified us. His piercing black eyes raged. Lips quivering, he screamed insanely, pointing his finger into our faces. Anger personified seethed before us. The other thugs looked on with cold expressions. By this time, Even our erstwhile friend, the policeman, shuddered and winced with fear. We were on our own. Taking our money, the man left us in the prison of our own room. What if they come back to kill us or rob us? We looked for an escape route, but there was none. Other than the door, there was only one window with a long straight drop to the cobblestone alley below. We were trapped. "Jeff, lock the door," Ramsey whispered, "and Monk, help me push this double bed against it. This way, those goons can't get in here while we're sleeping." Sleep was the last thing on any of our minds, but it seemed wise to do what we could to protect ourselves. As quietly as we could, we lifted and pushed the bed into place and tied the steel bedpost to the doorknob with a rope for added security. Ramsey and Jeff lay on this bed, while I took a smaller cot against a wall. The room was a dump. A single light bulb hung from the ceiling. Green paint and plaster peeled on the walls. Cobwebs dangled from every corner, and a stale stench turned our stomachs. Gasping for fresh air, I wrestled with a large window 6 feet high and 3 feet wide until it finally opened. I fell back into the bed, but within minutes, bed bugs attacked. Rest was out of the question. The three of us lay in the dark, waiting. An hour or so later, we heard a key slowly turning in the lock. Silently, the door opened, then hit the bed. The intruders pushed gently at first, not realizing that the three of us were squatting on the floor at the other end of the bed, heaving all of our weight into it. They pushed harder. Soon they understood that we were blocking them and howled in rage, slamming their bodies against the door. It flung open, but we pushed all our weight against the bed and shut it again. By now, both sides in this life and death tug of war were frantic. I jumped onto the bed to again tie the doorknob to the bedpost when, through the crack in the door, one of the attackers stabbed a knife in my direction. My mind screamed, "They want to kill us." The battle continued. They cracked their bodies against the door and it slammed again and again into the bed. They screamed threats and curses as we bashed ourselves into the bed. Unable to force the door open, they abruptly retreated. A heavy silence fell. To rest before the inevitable next siege, I retreated to my bug-ridden bed. My mind was full of ghastly thoughts. What was I doing here, trapped in the cholera-infested ghettos of Istanbul, a target for the underworld? Tossing over and over, I called to mind the life I had left in Highland Park. I'm a simple boy with a loving family and friends. Why did I leave the shelter of such a peaceful home? Now I'm helpless and alone. I prayed. I came here in search of enlightenment. Is this the path I have to tread in order to learn surrender? A thought emerged. If so, let it be. In our predicament, only God can save us. My prayers were interrupted by the door smashing into the bed. Round 2 of the battle began. Our would-be assassin shouted in wrath, pounding ferociously. A moment of inattention and we would be dead. Despite the biting cold, sweat flooded from our pores. We gasped in exhaustion and our limbs were battered. But our predators did not tire. Their roars terrorized us. By this time, I felt as if my bladder were about to burst. The only toilet was in the hallway, outside the door. 3 formidable battles raged simultaneously within me. The battle to keep the assassins out, the battle to keep my urine in, and the battle to make sense of it all. Unable to bear it any longer, I deserted Ramsey and Jeff and climbed up to the windowsill. There, I relieved myself into the alley below. Suddenly, a woman's scream blasted my ears. The alley was about 15 feet wide. Straight across from me was a window where an old Muslim woman, dressed in a traditional black veil, had been watching. In my desperation, I had not seen her, but she stared right at me. Outraged by my obscenity, she screamed in revulsion. This was too much. I stood helplessly on the window ledge with my pants down, urinating face to face with her and begging for pity. Cursing me, she threw a shoe into my face. It was a direct hit. I shut the window, jumped down, and wiped blood from my nose and mouth. But I had not finished. My bladder was still bursting. Meanwhile, Ramsey was crying out, "Monk, get back here. We can't hold them off." I was losing all 3 battles. I can't survive this, I thought. God, help me. Just then I saw the answer, and finished where I'd left off in the shoe. Putting it in a desk drawer, I re-entered the battle. Pressing firmly, we held them off. But we were trapped with neither food nor water. It was only a matter of time before they broke in. As the grey light of the dawn appeared, we agreed that our only hope was to quietly escape through the door between attacks. We decided to risk our lives on the tiny chance of escape. We had no idea whether a guard was standing post outside our door, but if so, we were dead. It was a chance we had to take. Slowly and as quietly as possible, we swung the door open into the pitch darkness. I could not see my hand before my face. As we tiptoed forward, the aged wooden floor creaked with every step, each creak like a scream. In this darkness, would we blunder right into one of them? My heart was pounding. We made it to the Gothic staircase. Still unable to see, we groped the outside wall, terrified of falling over the other side. In this way, we crept down the staircase toward the dimly lit pool hall, where, to our horror, the guard lay sleeping on a pool table. Holding our breath, we stole across the room to the door. It was locked. The latch would not budge. We had never seen a lock like this. Frantically, each one of us tried to open it. Finally, our attempts roused the guard from his stupor, and he shouted to the others. From another set of stairs came the horrifying sound of their stampede. "Oh my God," I gasped. "Open the lock quick, Ramsey. Open the lock." I'm trying. He jiggled the lock in every possible way, to no avail. The stomping of boots as our captors came closer made me sick. Just as they were almost upon us, all at once the lock popped open, and we burst into the street, running as we had never run before, backpacks and all. Behind us we could hear the screams of our adversaries. Not looking back, we dove into a taxi. We knew of only one place in Istanbul. "Blue Mosque, Blue Mosque," we chanted in unison. But scanning through the rearview mirror at the gang of men approaching us, the taxi driver did not move. He saw an opportunity. $200, he demanded. "What? $200? Jeff cried. The driver shouted loudly, $200, $200. Hastily, we agreed. Yes, $200, $200. He zoomed off, but were we safe? Jeff, the keeper of the wallet, was concerned. "We can't give him $200, he whispered. "Will he be the one to kill us?" We didn't want to find out. At the first stoplight, we bolted from the taxi. The driver howled, $200, $200, but we were gone. So, let's pause our reading of the journey home there for now, as it seems our protagonists have made a successful getaway. That's the end of the 6th chapter, and I look forward to reading how this turns out next time. Namaste. Music might be a little too loud. Well, if you want me to turn it down, I certainly can, a few notches. You're always welcome to ask. That concludes our Śraddhāvana section, which is dedicated to listening. Now we can transition to Manana, portion dedicated to Q&A, and we can explore whatever is on our hearts and minds. You're very welcome, dear Don Suela. I'm happy that you like the reading. You're always a very good listener, and I thank you for always thanking me. It's very kind of you. Sorry, I didn't have any sound effects for that transition. Let me do that again. And back again. So welcome everyone that joined while we were reading. Thank you to those who sent a gift as well. Allow me to thank you now that I have a good moment. Dearest Majesty, thank you for your heart me. Ram Ram. Dearest Little Wing Nico, thank you for your heart me, finger heart and TikTok. Hari Om Tat Sat. And your tiny yippee. Welcome, dearest Greg RG. That's right, the pop at the end is what seals the deal. Thank you, dear Dob Darker, for your heart me. Om Ganganapataye Namah. Dearest Isabella, thank you for your Dalgona candy. Om Tham Namaschandraya. Dearest Wolf Medic, thank you for your team cheers. Jaya Sitaram. EO, you're wondering, what language is that? It's the ancient and sacred language of Sanskrit. Thank you, Harsi, for your heart me. Om Am Saraswatyai Namah. Dear Matt, thank you for your heart me. Om Zoom Suryaya Namah. Fiddly Fig, dearest Gwendolyn, thank you for your heart me. Radhe Radhe. Dear Becca, thank you for your rose. Om Ram Bhairvaya Namo Namah. Nyanjalo Pak, thank you for your heart me. Hare Krishna. Becca, thank you for your rose. Om Khang Jahnavyaya Namah. Tatwamasi, thank you for your quintet of roses. Jaya Nisargadatta Maharaja. Dalita, thank you for your heart, me too. Om Kring Kali Gaye Namah. And dear Derek, thank you for your tiny Yahoo! None of these things are ever expected, but deeply appreciated. Thank you. Sanskrit is definitely a favorite language of mine. Thank you for sharing the live, dear Fiddle Leaf. And thank you for everyone's patience as we went through the many tokens of gratitude. Dearest Sky Guardian, you weren't sure if it was just you, so you didn't ask. You are always welcome to ask. If I can turn the music a little down for you, but thank you for your empathy for others. Sky Guardian, you ask Sanskrit or English? Greg RG responds, Anglicized Sanskrit. I will add to that, Sanskritized English. I do notice that learning Sanskrit has had an effect on how I pronounce English, because Sanskrit teaches you to be aware of the sounds between words and join the gap according to the rules of Sandhi. Also teaches you to be very aware of every little letter's effect on a word. Like silent H's are definitely not silent. What becomes what, as Sanskrit differentiates in their aspiration. And at some point, English did too. Sanskrit teaches the formula for where to place emphasis on words that have high consonant clusters or long vowels. I like your portmanteau, Greg RG. Anskritse. Hello, dear Chloe Evans. Your Pig Latin, Sanskrit. Hello, dear Matt. Power of language is absolutely a miracle. Sound can take us many places. One of the most beautiful things about sound when it comes to Sanskrit is how it's a whole field of study in and of itself. You can spend your whole life just studying pronunciation, not because it's complicated, but because it's so deep, so rich. There's always another topic to explore in the metaphorical phonic soundscape of the human being. I love it. The lifelong learning potential. I love that addition, dear Gwendolyn. Sound is boundless. I like that. Hello, dear Kyo. Welcome, dear Kyoto. Welcome if you have to ask. Thank you for sharing the live, dear Matt. I'd love to know how you're all feeling at this moment, what I can hold space for. Dearest Greg RG, you share honestly the exploration of phonetics is sort of just like the exploration of music. I love your connections, and yes, I see that too. I like when a musician makes their instrument sing, like George Harrison's gently weeping guitar. Dearest Kyoto, you share, you just sobbed for 15 minutes. You're so happy for yourself. Oh, that's beautiful. I rejoice in such healing tears with you. That is always a valid expression and a powerful and transforming experience. Talitha, you share the single word spinach with heart eyes. You are just like my kitty Sandy. Sandy just loves spinach. He loves leafy greens, spinach, arugula too. He had a big bowl of spinach last night. Radhe, Radhe, dear Walia. Dearest Gwendolyn Bria, you are feeling grateful, as usual. I am happy to hear of the commonality of gratitudality in your experientiality. Feeling very relaxed, shares dear Mads. Oh, how wonderful. Radhe, Radhe, dear Alex. Little Wing Nico, you ask if I can play any instruments. I've tried to learn a couple. I haven't gotten very far with them, but I've picked up piano, bass guitar, clarinet, and a violin. And I emphasize that I tried to learn them. I couldn't play almost anything on them. I love the sound of them, however, and I'm always inspired by musicians like my father. I do, however, like to explore digital instruments with ease on software like FL Studio, making MIDIs. But I like to say that this body and mind are an instrument for the divine. Talitha, you share your cats don't know what to do with spinach. They're like, what is this? This food? Do ruffles have ridges? Asks Alex. I actually love the riffles on rudges. The riffles on rudges, I just said. It's a spoonerism for you. The ridges on ruffles. Great for a high surface area, for lots of flavor. The favorite feminine, you ask, which did I like the most of the instruments? I love when they come together in harmony with each other in big orchestras. If I had to continue learning one, I think I'd choose maybe a violin. Gregor G, you ask, do I have a MIDI keyboard or do I use a keyboard? I do have an electric keyboard that can plug into the computer through a MIDI cable. But I've actually learned to use my literal keyboard on my computer in FL Studio. It maps to the keyboard. So, using QWERTY, ASDF, I can play the notes on there. Hello, dear Renvox. But yeah, my favorite instrument is the body. An instrument of the divine. How are you, dear Renvox? Dunswela, you're feeling happy after painting, but also tired. Holding attention to your work makes you sleepy. Oh, you exert so much of yourself, express deepest parts of your being. That takes a lot of work for sure. I'm happy for you. Invox, you share that you can use the saying, ruffles have ridges, as a practice for rolling your R's. I like that. Dearest Gregor G, you share a while back you learned that the fiddle and violin are literally the same instrument. It's about the way you play. Oh, how metaphorical that is. I like that. You like violin too? And bass, dear Jim. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Rhiannon. That's right, Jim. The devil's fiddle. Invox, you share, I seem extra chill tonight. Oh, good. It's ASMR Sunday, so I'm glad you picked up on that. Little Wing Nico, you have a bad toothache. I really feel for you. I know what that's like. Can I possibly please send some healing vibes? Of course. When I was a child, I would always be in the dentist. For some reason, my teeth were really susceptible to cavities, and I'd be in a lot of pain. So I spent a lot of my childhood in dentist offices. Fortunately, my adult teeth have grown in and they're much better. But I still remember what that's like to just be in pain with your teeth. So I pray that you feel the healing nature of your gums and roots, and that your oral hygiene is taken care of. If your wisdom teeth are growing in, may you make room for all the wisdom that comes with it. They used to have, well, they still have, but we used to commonly have this type of tree that you'd chew on, and it would be like aspirin for you, that it has a pain-killing effect. I think it's called the toothache tree or something. You can chew on those. Maybe you can get them on Amazon. You can get a bundle of those twigs, chew on the toothache tree. Toothache tree twigs. Thank you, Little Wing Nico, for your finger heart, friendship necklace, Dalgana candy, TikTok, Gigi, and a rose. Om Dum Durgaya Namaha. Matthew share, you can chew on a clove for toothache. Clove oil shares Das. Willow shares Marie. Amanda, you still have a baby tooth in your mouth, or do you mean you have you've kept the ones that have fallen out? My father has kept some of my baby teeth too, and they smell terrible. I guess my bad breath remained. You still have a baby tooth in your mouth. Wow. How interesting. Well, it's good to know your inner child is still very much there. Jim, you share in the South, you just dip a stick in Jim Beam. That's funny. Namaskaram, dear Liam Walker. There was a question from Alex. Is nothing still in itself something? That's a good question. I have a mathematical analogy for you. Let me bring up the blackboard. I use my little cheap drawing tablet here, which was originally for Osu. One end is plugged in. Now we get the other end. There it is. And get the pen. Good night, dear Amanda. I like to compare nothing to an empty set. In a world of mathematics called set theory, in the notation of set theory, you'd write down a set as two braces, and in between those braces you'd write down what's contained in that set. For example, if you wanted the set of whole numbers, you'd write an open brace 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. This would be the set of whole numbers. But notice that there is a difference between a set and its contents. A set is what contains its contents. So here, the set is, for instance, the braces. But what's contained within it, all of the numbers, that's the content. When it comes to the empty set, nothingness, it by itself is a thing. This is a thing because it's a set. It's an awareness, it's an envelope of some kind. But what's inside is not a thing. The word nothing is like the set of nothing. As a word, as a concept, as an idea, it is a thing. But it refers to that which is not a thing. So as long as we are talking about it, we are in the world of things. But we are referencing that which is not a thing. The reference is a thing. It points you the way to nothing, but you can never talk about nothing, because to truly talk about nothing would mean to use no words at all. I hope that answers the question. Thank you, dear Hybrid Jen, for your dozen roses. Om Kamalyar Mahakalikaye Namah. And dear Rahina, thank you for your rose and love yum. Om Dham Namaschantaraya. Hello, dear Hexakim. That's funny, Don Suela. To talk about nothing could also mean you're a character on Seinfeld. Indeed. Little Wing Nico, you share. You could always look at the space of nothingness as potential for something. Tadasto. That's right. It's in the very word itself. Nothing is not a positive term. It doesn't speak to the existence of anything. It speaks to the lack of existence of something, a negative. It is that which is no thing. But a lack isn't simply an absence either. It is an opening, a space. Just like when you want to make room for something, that something must be contained in an emptiness, otherwise there'd be no space to put it. That something must be contained in an emptiness, otherwise there'd be no space to put it. I apologize for the internet disruption. Do let me know when my connection has returned. I'm back. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you, Rahina. Starlight Wow, thank you for your flowers. Om Vasudevaya Namah. And dear Renvox, thank you for your tiny yippee. Gwendolyn, you hear Sanskrit dice? Do you? Or is it a Rudraksha Mala? But it sounds very similar, doesn't it? Here we have our Sanskrit sound of the day. What we got is the letter, trying to find the right angle, sha, 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 sha. Sha, 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 sha. The palatal sibilant. Palatal region in the mouth represents the element of air, vayu. The sibilant quality represents the energy of passion, rajas. So the sound compared with the element of air and the energy of passion, of creation, represents passionate air. The power of the breath to create. Sh, sh. Hello, dear. Is it Mika or Micha? You can tell me how to pronounce your name. The reason that wisdom teeth are called wisdom teeth is because in order to gain wisdom, you have to go through pain. So the wise are the ones that can endure the pain. Through that experience, they understand the lesson of resilience, of determination, of patience. For wisdom is always the reward of adversity. That's right, void. If you pay close attention to nothingness, you will find the source of everythingness. And when you are met face to face with that source, lo and behold, you have met the Creator. Good evening, dear Strawberry Star Bunny. And it's a good reminder, dear Frazetta. Sorry, it took me a second to Frazetta Kelly. Make sure to always go to spiritual sources that use their resources to help you. Not the other way around. Such is why everything I offer has always been free. Everything I do is eternally without cost. But do keep in mind that there are impersonators of me, and they can sometimes follow you while watching this live stream, and it might seem like it's from me. They might say that I have some service for a price, but it's not true. Everything I offer is free. In fact, if any of you are going through any hardship, although I don't have a lot of money myself, if you reach out, I'd be happy to help support you in small ways. I don't want anyone to ever struggle financially. If they need to pay for food, medication, therapy, whatever voluntary donations come of this live stream always gets returned to the community. Hello, dear Mariham. And thank you, dear Shelly Belly, for your dalgona candy. Om Kamalir Mahakalikai Namah. Hello, dear Jaqueline. Dear Jake, you're wondering if I can start a weekly live meditation class. Or rake, sorry. I mixed up with the J of your other name. Well, we do meditations at the end of all of our live streams, in case you didn't know. It is Jake. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So if you stick around, we'll definitely end with a meditation as always. Tonight we're doing Pranava meditation, meditating on the cosmic syllable Om. And thank you, dear Davis, for the heart me you had sent. Om Pram Hanumate Namah. And dear Jan, thank you for your heart me as well. Ram Ram. Hello, dearest Nanda Priya. Jai Shri Vishnu. Dear Jake, you ask, do I have meditation videos recorded? Yeah, all the meditations we do here are clipped, and they're all put on a playlist with about 200 episodes so far on my Yamsox Lives YouTube channel. But I like the idea of weekly classes. I think we could do something a little more personal. Maybe a Zoom class every week at an agreed upon time. I like that idea. You do too, dear Neon Jello Pack. I'm happy to hear that. Hello, Carlitos. You like that too, Michelle? Okay. Well, that's something we can discuss in the Discord server. Welcome back, dear Greg RG. Thank you, dear Invox. I just let my hair be. The reason it's long is so that I don't have to worry about haircuts. I just let the top of my head do its thing, and when it gets too long to take care of, I ask my mom to trim it. Yeah. Hair be hairing. Dear Greg RG, you ask, is Priya kinda like Shri? An honorific? Yeah, indeed. Priya. It means beloved in Sanskrit. I like to call some of you G. I like to call some of you Priya. I like to call some of you Priya G. And some bhai. Yes. A term of endearment. Alright, I have a question of the day for you all. Today I'm asking, what is the value in being grateful for what we have? I know that many of us may feel a dissatisfaction for some of the things we currently lack, which is understandable. There's lots of room in our life for more experiences, and definitely we will grow to hold space for them. But what is the value in being grateful for what we have thus far? I like your honorifics, dear Sky Guardian. Param Shri Puja Priya Bhai Ji San. Bhagwan Maharaj. Hi Virgin, here's an answer to our question of the day. You share, to be humble is to be mentally well, humble with what we have after we are grateful. Well said. Samra, you share you feel at peace when you recognize how fortunate you are to have food, shelter, and love. Yeah. That's an immediate feedback. Hello, dear Cray Cray Ray Ray. Dear Jen, you share that gratitude can set us free from desires for something else. Well, I recognize the same changeless soul within you, dear Ray Ray. Little Wing Nico, you are always grateful for what you have because there are people out there who would long to have what you have: food, a roof over your head, warmth, and support. Jocelyn, you share, it makes us turn inward. Yeah. I love the diversity in feelings that you all have. Recognition of our basic blessings makes us feel blessed indeed. I love these insights. Rahina, you share that gratitude opens us up to more abundance of things we enjoy. Exactly. Shows the universe we recognize what it has to offer. Strawberry Star Bunny, you share the value is abundance. You feel abundant when you tap into gratitude. I love that. Hyperfixations, you share physically gratitude makes your body feel lighter and healthier. Yeah, I think studies have shown that you can even measure how gratitude affects a person's blood. You know, all the markers for health and immune response go up. Bobby, you share we can always have more and always have less. That is very humbling. Yes, gratitude liberates us from our selfish desires, helps us recognize shared humanity. It invites more abundance. Health benefits. Don Suela, you share, you remember when you were sick ages ago that you wasn't grateful. As soon as you allowed gratitude in, it held you and you could love yourself and others again. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. I know what that's like. It's wonderful when you feel that wave fill you up again. Neon Jello Pack, you share, echoing what Strawberry Star Bunny said. It can shift our mindset from scarcity to abundance. Yeah. It does shift our mindset indeed. And we start seeing more of that. It was key in your healing. I'm so grateful to hear that, dearest Donzuela. Gardening Gregardia, you share, the gratitude itself holds great value. Also, to have anything, even a breath, is to be blessed. Indeed. Little Wing Nico, you ask, what's my answer to the question of the day? Oh, I'll tell you, but I want to let you all have a chance to answer first. Thank you for asking me. Jim, you share that gratitude toward the smallest of things is from a heart of love, not need. Well said. These are wonderful answers, everyone. Thank you. I really enjoyed exploring this together. And thank you, April Rain, for your likes on the live. Neon Jello Pack, you share, it can shift our mindset from resistance to acceptance. Indeed. Welcome, Andy. And from isolation to connection. That's beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for engaging. I'll minimize the question of the day there for now. Very happy with what we've explored. If any of you is still typing a response or thinking of one and would like to share one, please be my guest to continue anyway. At any point in any of these sanghas, of course, I open exploration of gratitude. I'd love for you all to share one thing you're grateful for too, if ever you want. I will add that the value in gratitude is that it's a very simple way of creating an immediate benefit in our mental health. It doesn't require, some arduous journey through a jungle to realize yourself. You don't have to pay an exorbitant amount of money to someone to tell you what you already know. You don't have to physically exert yourself in order to come up with an answer. You just pick one thing in your moment, find how you are grateful for that, how it makes you feel having this thing in your life, and immediately there's benefit. And if you practice that every day, you can heal from a lot of wounds. It's a miracle to even have the ability to be grateful. I'm grateful for gratitude. It has helped me in my healing journey. You're grateful for your dog shares hyperfixations. I love that. Dogs are such a wonderful source and recipient of love. Gratitude provides immediate mental benefits. No complex journey required. Simple, affordable, and profound. Just acknowledge it's something's impact on your life. Even if it's something as simple as the earth not having caved in below you, still holding you up, the sun in the sky, breath in your lungs. Little Wing Nico, you're grateful for me. Oh, thank you. Your presence here is very valuable to me too. And I honor that space that we share. And I look forward to innumerable journeys with you still. I love that, Gregorji. Thank you, Shri Gratitude Ji. I wonder what the word for gratitude is in Sanskrit. There is a similar word that I know, santosha. Yeah, I think it would just be santosha. One of the niyamas. Om Namah Santoshaya. Salutations to contentment. Santosha. You're grateful for the Sangha. I am too, dear Gwendolyn Priya. For community in general. I'm grateful for you, dear user 663. Thank you. I look forward to many more conversations with you. Little Wing Nico, you ask if the trip to India is on the horizon. There are some plans in the works. Nothing definite, but the journey is unfolding. Hello, dear Merle. I am well. How are you? Could I please tell you about the niyamas, asks Gardening Gregorji? I would love to. Hello, dear Mariham. You're grateful with my friendship. I'm grateful with your friendship too. Let's get that blackboard up so I can write this down. Or, that wasn't the blackboard. This is the blackboard. Ah, my eyes so bright. Mamma mia. There we go. Tatvamasi, you share that abhar could be gratitude in Sanskrit. Thank you. Good to know. All sorts of multiple words for similar things in Sanskrit, so precise. So the second limb of yoga is the 5 Niyamas. I like to translate this as exemplary conduct, because literally yama in Sanskrit means conduct, like pranayama, breath conduct. Ni is a prefix that exemplifies whatever it attaches to. So this discussion assumes you're already rooted in the 5 yamas, which is the first limb of yoga. They're the basis for living a moral life. The niyamas go above and beyond. The first is saucha, which I like to translate as cleanliness. Keep your environment clean, keep your body clean, keep your mind clean, and your heart clean. The second niyama is, as I said, santosha, which I like to translate as contentment. I think gratitude is a good synonym for this too. Being grateful for what we have. The third niyama is tapas, which I like to translate to austerity. You can translate it to discipline as well. You know, having something that you chip away at, whether that's some study, whether that's exercise, whether that's a meditation practice, whether that's fasting, it's up to you. But some kind of practice that gets your mind to be in service to you. See if I can fit the last 2 in here. The fourth is Svadhyaya, I'm going to run out of room for the last one. I'm just remembering where the long vowels go in this. Oh, and I forgot an aspirate. Svadhyaya. Which means self-study. That you take ownership of your spiritual journey, study scripture, also reflect on your own experiences. And lastly, last but not least, let me make some room up at the top here. The fifth niyama. So important, it's glowing. Ishvara Pranidhāna. Ishvara Pranidhāna. Let me check where the long vowels go for you. And dhana. It could be translated to faith in your higher self. So those are the 5 niyamas of the second limb of yoga. Saucha, cleanliness; santosha, contentment; tapas, austerity; svadhyaya, self-study; and ishvara pranidhana, faith in your higher self. You will live a very happy life if you can master the 5 niyamas. Thank you, dear Woo Woo, for your TikTok. Namah Karnim Ambita Me Shorin Nadita Me Harin Devita Me Aing Sarasvatyai Swaha. Hello, dear crossfires. No, I'm not familiar with Cody the Sound Healer, dear little wing Nico, but I'm grateful for the connection. Hello, dear Spinudha. Miananda, you ask, do my lives count as tapas? The meditations at the end of them may count as tapas, but generally I think these lives would count more as svadhyaya. That's self-study, since we do a lot of reflection here. But good question. Daily reminder that you are loved, from daily reminder that you are loved. Thank you. Hello, Theist Cool. You share you've been pretty depressed lately. That's okay. You're allowed to. Been a few years actually. Any tips on how to actually change? That's the funny thing, is as long as you feel like you need to change to be happy, then you'll never be truly happy with yourself. If you feel like you need to change, then that shows a sign of a lack of acceptance in yourself. And ironically, it's not who you are that makes you unhappy. It's lack of acceptance for who you are that makes you unhappy. If you absolutely allow yourself to be just as you have been, counterintuitively, that is the first and most necessary step to go from the cocoon of depression into the butterfly of happiness. Namaste, dear Garrett, and I am here for you as is this community, and you're not alone. Many people are feeling as you are right now. Hello, dear Garrett. You share your cat's name is Bodhi. I love that. Do I feel like I know any Bodhis, truly? Buddhas, or Bodhisattvas, I think you are referring to. It comes from the root Bud, which means to awaken. It has many forms. For example, to say I awaken, you'd say Buddhami. Actually, you'd say Buddhami. I awaken, Buddhami. Someone who is awakened, you'd call a Buddha, an awakened one. Someone who has or the faculty of awakening is called the Buddhi. And awakening itself is called Bodhi. So, do I know any Buddhas? Do I know any awakened ones? Of course. We are all awakened ones. In fact, you can never be anything else. All of us are awake. We just don't recognize our own awakening. All one has to do is recognize that it has always been your essential nature. Easier said than done, of course. Dearest premonitions, you share your son is having his baby today. Please bless this family. Oh, what a blessing it is for you to tell me of such a wonderful addition in your life that will change your world forever, I'm sure, especially your son's. The baby is the blessing. The baby comes from the divine. How could I make that experience any more divine when the baby is the greatest blessing itself? But I wish for lots of good health, happiness. May their connection be deep, long-lasting. And may you, as a wonderful grandparent, get to have lots of lovely moments with the baby too, in this new phase of your life. And you're very welcome. Theist cool. Thank you for sharing the live, dear Happy Hilltome, and Gwendolyn, Bria, and Merlin. Now, I would love to have another episode of Ruminations. Let me transition scenes. Welcome back to another episode of Ruminations, where we read the mystical poetry of the Sufi Rumi. Let's continue reading a few poems in the Ghazals section of the Pocket Rumi. We'll dive right into it. May this poetry calm your mind and awaken your heart. This one's called Clothes Abandoned on the Shore. Your body is here with us, but your heart is in the meadow. You travel with the hunters, though you yourself are what they hunt. Like a reed flute, you are encased by your body, with a restless, breathy sound inside. You are a diver. Your body is just clothing left at the shore. You are a fish whose way is through water. In this sea there are many bright veins, and some that are dark. The heart receives its light from those bright veins. If you lift your wing, I can show them to you. You are hidden like the blood within. If you are shy, and you are shy if I touch. Those same veins sing a melancholy tune in the sweet stringed lute. Music from a shoreless sea, whose waves roar out infinity. That's clothes abandoned on the shore. This body is only extraneous. Something deeper inside. We'll read another. It's called The Pull of Love. When Halaj found union with his beloved, it was right that it was on the gallows. I snatched a cup's worth of cloth from his coat, and it covered my reason, my head, and my feet. I pulled a thorn from the fence of his garden, and it has not stopped working its way into my heart. One morning, a little of his wine turned my heart into a lion hunter. It's right that the separation he helped me feel lurks like a monster within my heart. Yet heaven's wild and unbroken colt was trained by the hand of his love. Though reason is learned and has its honors, it's pawned its cap and robes for a cup of love. Many hearts have sought refuge from this love, but it drags and pulls them to its own refuge. One cold day a bearskin was floating down the river. I said to a man who had no clothes, "Jump in and pull it out." But the bearskin was a live bear, and the man who jumped in so eagerly was caught in the clutches of what he went to grab. "Let go of it," I said. "Fighting won't get you anywhere." "Let go of it." "This coat won't let go of me." Silence. Just a hint. Who needs volumes of stories? I think that suffices for now. Let us pause our reading of the pocket Rumi there for now. Love transforms our hearts profoundly. May we embrace these feelings of separation, seek refuge in love's embrace, and let love guide our actions. We are all interconnected. The pull of love. If you want to pause and reflect on love, now's your time. Let us accept silence and stillness. Embrace transformation through connection. Namaste. We have successfully ruminated. What is this talk of being food items? Hello, dearest Magdalene Priya and dearest G. Wrap up in a blanket, transform into a burrito, adds Greg RG. Gwendolyn shares, you will be falafel. Neon Jello Pack, you want to be a shawarma sandwich. Dalita, you prefer being a fajita. Wow. We have so many colors of bread wrap on the chat. Extrapolated, ruminated, soon to be marinated. It's cozy burrito time. Apparently. Hello, dear Shakira. Happy Sunday. G, you correctly point out that Gregor G and Magdalene Priya G will always break it down to food, these two. I think they're hungry. It's your gluten addiction talking, Miananda. But I concur, dear Donzuela. Rumi's words are so timeless, his words are expansive and infinite. And to add to the bread chat, you are a paratha. Perfect. I will wrap myself in some naan. I'll be a yam stuffed naan. Alright. I wanted to transition now to our final segment of our Sangha, which is Nididhyāsana. So if you're interested in closing this live stream with a meditation with me, we'll be doing a chanting meditation together. If you just want to listen, that's okay. Today we'll be doing my favorite mantra, which is the Pranava. We'll be taking inspiration from the latest scholarly research of Rigvedic intonation. It's a transition between 4 distinct sounds. The sound A, which is dominant in the navel. The sound O, which is dominant in the throat. The sound M, which is dominant in the lips. And the sound which is dominant in the nasal cavity. You'll notice that it forms a sequence of rising places in the physical body where their main mode of resonance is vibrated. This is the sound that is said to have produced all other sounds. It is called the Pranava. You'll notice if you listen very closely that the sequence of phonetic features and places of articulation and modes of resonance create a rising overtone. I'll give you an example. In your own head if you practice with me. We'll do it a half of 108 times because 108 would take a while given the speed I'd like to chant it. So I have a mala of very large Himalayan Rudraksha seeds, which is 54 in number, and we'll use this to keep count. We'll start without further ado. Thank you for meditating with us. Namaste. So ends the mantra chanting meditation for Nididhyāsana. And with that, we've come to the end of our Sangha tonight. Thank you, dearest Gwendolyn, for the hanging lights that you had sent. Om Namah Shivaya. Dearest Hybrid Jen, thank you for your heart me. Om Namah Shakti Shivaya. And dear John Simon, for your heart me and Rose. Om Hrim Ham Jum Sas Namah Shakti Shivaya. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm grateful for all participation. Grateful for those who just listened too. Hello and goodbye to you. May we close with loving intention. Nighty-night Sangha, shares dearest Magdalene Priya. Loving group hug to you all. Hug. This live stream will be uploaded to my Yamsox ASMR YouTube channel, along with every other ASMR Sunday. But the clips, like our reading and our meditation, they'll be put on the relevant playlists on the Yamsox Lives YouTube channel. All of that's linked in the link tree in my bio. Thank you to my lovely moderators for helping keep the peace. If there's any way in which I can make the Sangha more inclusive next time, let me know. May this live stream be an offering to the divinity within you. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityor ma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to the light, from death to deathlessness. Om. May there be peace in us, may there be peace in our environment, and may there be peace in the forces that act on us. I echo dear Greg RG. Good day, good night, and good morrow, friends. Thank you for the suggestion, dear John Simon. A movie called 9 Days. I'll keep it in mind. May you have a lovely rest of your afternoon, your evening, your morning, your night, whatever time it is for you. If you need to drink some water, get some food, fresh air, take care of yourself. May you have a wonderful rest of your present moment. Namaste.